Welcome, curious travelers, to this captivating adventure through the twists and turns of time. Get ready to delve into the epic life of a man whose deeds reshaped history, Hernán Cortés. In this immersive video, we will explore the daring exploits, risky alliances, and lasting consequences of this 16th century conqueror. Let's embark together on an exciting journey across continents and eras to discover the man behind the myth. The story of our protagonist, Hernán Cortés, begins in 1485 in the vibrant Spain of the 15th century. Born to parents of minor nobility, he grows up in a world brimming with possibilities, where horizons seemed limitless. After receiving a careful education, Cortés chooses to study law at the University of Salamanca. The walls of the old institution resonate with the voices of thinkers, scholars, and curious minds shaping the future. However, the paths laid out by society at the time fail to stifle the irresistible call of the unknown. In 1504, Cortés makes a bold choice. He leaves the familiar shores of Europe for the distant horizons of the New World. Thus begins his journey into history and legend. In Hispaniola, in the Caribbean, Cortés takes his first steps as a settler and plants the seeds of his thirst for adventure and discovery. In this new land, Cortés encounters cultures and customs radically different from what he knew. The natural and human richness of these lands, tinged with mystery and opportunity, sparks his curiosity and desire to achieve something grand. The Caribbean serves as a stepping stone to his future destiny, but the echoes of new horizons push him even further, towards unexplored lands and unimaginable adventures. Thus, Cortés' early steps, from his birthplace in Spain to the distant shores of the New World, shaped the framework of his epic quest. In the years to come, this insatiable thirst for exploration and accomplishment will propel him toward feats that still resonate in the annals of history. The year 1519 is etched in history as a decisive turning point for Hernán Cortés. As he lands on the Mexican coast with just a few hundred determined men, he initiates what will become one of the boldest and most controversial undertakings of the European conquest era, the conquest of the Aztec Empire. While exploring the newly discovered lands, Cortés hears of the legendary wealth of the Aztec Empire, centered around the majestic city of Tenochtitlan. While it may seem that such a small group could not rival the Aztec power, Cortés offsets this numerical disadvantage with strategic ingenuity. Cortés' skillful diplomatic tactics are a crucial aspect of his success. He exploits rivalries and grievances among the peoples subjected to the Aztec Empire, forging unlikely alliances with the Tlaxcaltecs and other indigenous groups hostile to the Aztecs. These alliances provide him both reinforcements and crucial knowledge of Aztec culture and society. Armed with these alliances and his unwavering determination, Cortés embarks on his march toward the majestic Tenochtitlan. The Aztec capital, perched on a lake, is a masterpiece of architecture and splendor, but it is not invincible. Encounters between Cortés and the Aztec ruler Moctezuma II are filled with curiosity and tension, reflecting the collision of two worlds and two visions of power. The conquest of the Aztec Empire is not just a story of battles, but also of complex intercultural understanding. As Cortés and his men explore Tenochtitlan, they discover a civilization rich in art, culture, and traditions. However, cultural differences and desires for conquest lead to inevitable conflicts. The conquest of the Aztec Empire by Hernán Cortés is by no means a linear tale of victory. As Cortés and his men establish their presence in Tenochtitlan, tensions quickly escalate. Interactions between Spanish conquistadors and the Aztecs are marked by a complex mosaic of emotions, ranging from mutual curiosity to deep mistrust. The events that unfold during this period are both tragic and crucial. The confrontation between European and Native American cultures leads to a clash of understanding and values. Errors in judgment, cultural misunderstandings, and acts of violence contribute to exacerbating tensions between the two sides. However, it is in 1521 that the situation reaches its climax. The internal struggles of the Aztecs, combined with the increasing isolation of Tenochtitlan due to the Spanish siege, lead to a series of tragic events. The city undergoes intense siege, with fierce battles and a gradual weakening of its defenses. Spanish assaults are characterized by a combination of military tactics, internal betrayals, and imported diseases that undermine the Aztec forces. In August 1521, after months of fierce struggle, Tenochtitlan finally falls into the hands of the Spanish and their indigenous allies. Victory is the result of complex circumstances, combining Cortés' military strategies, internal divisions among the Aztecs, and the role of indigenous allies in the conflict. The fall of Tenochtitlan marks a decisive moment where the past and future intertwine, giving birth to a new era for these lands and their peoples. However, it is important to note that the fall of Tenochtitlan has profound and lasting consequences. The disappearance of this iconic empire paves the way for European colonization of the region and the radical transformation of its cultures and societies. It is a moment of triumph and tragedy that continues to influence the present and future of this part of the world. After the spectacular fall of Tenochtitlan, Hernán Cortés does not simply rest on his laurels. His unquenchable desire for exploration drives him to undertake new discoveries and adventures in the newly conquered lands. His footsteps lead him to explore the coasts, mountains, and jungles of Mexico and Central America. Cortés continues his exploration of Mexico, delving deeper into the inland regions. His expeditions allow him to discover rich and complex civilizations, such as the Maya, Tlaxcaltecs, and Zapotecs. Despite his successes in terms of discovery and territorial expansion, his actions are not without controversy and opposition. Cortés' later explorations are marked by conflicts and rivalries with other conquistadors and explorers, each seeking to establish their own influence and leave their mark on these newly opened lands. Competing ambitions lead to violent clashes and tensions, reflecting the complexity of European colonization in America. Yet, despite obstacles and challenges, Cortés manages to lay the groundwork for the expansion of Spanish territories in the New World. His explorations pave the way for future geographical and cultural discoveries, while laying the foundations for a global exchange of ideas, goods, and people known as the Columbian Exchange. Despite his successes and contributions to the geographical understanding of the world, Cortés eventually returns to Spain in 1541. His legacy is complex and controversial. On one hand, he is celebrated as a national hero who paved the way for Spanish presence in America. On the other, he is criticized for the tragic consequences of his actions on indigenous populations and for the brutal methods used during the conquest. Even today, Hernán Cortés' legacy continues to spark debates and deep reflections on the impact of colonization, intercultural interactions, and the evolution of our modern world. The stories of his explorations and conquests remind us of the importance of understanding the nuances of history, even when events seem distant in time. The story of Hernán Cortés is a complex narrative, blending courage, ambition, and unforeseen consequences. As we close this chapter of our journey through time, remember that every historical account is nuanced, opening the door to reflection and discussion. If you wish to continue exploring the extraordinary lives that have shaped our world, join us in other episodes of our series, where the past and present meet to inspire us. Thank you for being part of this captivating quest for knowledge and adventure.